When snow falls, nature listens. When snow falls, nature seems to slow down. Everything becomes quieter and calmer. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could harness that sense of calm for ourselves? I believe we can. Hi, neighbor. I'd like to welcome you to another unplugged episode of Anchors of Encouragement. My name is Tim Maudlin, husband, adoptive parent, disciple of Christ, and ambassador of encouragement. I'm coming to you today from my outdoor studio. We are currently under a winter storm warning where I live. There are several inches of snow on the ground, with more on their way. This is a continuation of a series of episodes I've been bringing to you to reveal my words for the coming year. In these episodes, I've been dropping breadcrumbs from the acronym of the main word. In episode 167, our letter A stood for affirmations. Episode 168, the letter T stood for 2 and 3. Now, I would encourage you to listen to those episodes to understand the points that I was bringing out. These episodes are to help explain the concepts and ideas behind my main word for the year. Today's letter is the letter R, and it stands for regulate. I began this episode with a quote by Antoinette van Kleeff. When snow falls, nature listens. To that quote, I've added a few of my own thoughts. When snow falls, nature seems to slow down. Everything becomes quieter and calmer. And the question I posed that I would like to explore a little more in this episode is, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could harness that sense of calm for ourselves? I believe we can. And that's why I wanted to talk to you today about how to regulate yourself. And as I mentioned, I'm recording this episode in my outdoor studio. And I'm recording it during a winter storm warning. It's cold, it's snowing, but I'm layered up, and I really don't mind the cold. I really wanted to record this outside because I want to use this snow as a metaphor for the idea of how to regulate yourself. Earlier this morning when it was snowing, quite heavily at the time, I went out and just walked in it for a while. It was so peaceful. There's a sense of calm that comes over me when I'm out in the weather like this. It reminded me of a time way back in college. It had snowed significantly where I went to school. And I remember asking one of my classmates if she would like to go for a walk that night on campus. There were no cars on the road. It was just myself and my friend walking around campus. And I remember all these years later how peaceful and calm it was. I don't get a lot of opportunities like today to walk in the snow. We get some snow each year, but nothing really measurable like this. Just having that opportunity to go for a walk is something I value, and I want to apply these principles as we consider this idea of regulate. One of the things that has happened as a result of this winter storm warning, the local officials have encouraged us to stay off the roads. The roads aren't good right now. The snowplows are trying their best to keep up, but with the snow still coming, it's going to be a while before they really get those roads clear. And we don't want to cause any obstruction should there be some emergencies that our officials need to respond to. So we've been encouraged to stay off the roads. Really, it's an encouraged pause. And that's what I want to use as the metaphor today. That in our adoption journeys, there are times when we really need to force a pause in our life. Force those times when we take a break, take a pause. And much like today when we're asked to stay inside, or stay off the roads, I should say, that is a forced pause. But it's something that I welcome. The fact that I can just take a few moments to appreciate nature, and appreciate the sounds of the snow. The sounds are different. They're more muted. They're muffled. You might hear some birds foraging for food. You might hear a tree limb crack as the snow weighs on it. Those are different kinds of sounds than I'm accustomed to. And I find those sounds to be so peaceful that help me regulate myself. What I want to encourage you today is this idea of regulate, and using the metaphor of the snow and the calmness that it presents, is I want to encourage you to experience intentional stillness. Now, as I said, I don't live in an environment that has regular snowfalls like this. But when I do have that opportunity, I'm more than ready to go out and experience it. Whether you live in an area that has a lot of snow or not, you still can make application of this metaphor in your life. You can have intentional stillness. So let's get to the daily doable, because I want to encourage you to do this so you can navigate the challenges of your adoption journey better. You need to make a choice. Make a choice to pause. I don't know what that looks for you. If you're lucky like me today, you can go for a walk in the snow. It's so peaceful. I had my dog out earlier with me, and he was just romping around in the snow, having a good time. It's hard to explain unless you've experienced it. And I imagine most of my listeners have experienced snow. It's just something that's so peaceful for me. And I want to encourage you to find those ways that you can have intentional stillness in your life to experience the peace and calm that you need. It will help to regulate yourself. When snow falls, nature listens. I hope you'll listen to yourself and take a pause when you need to. Find that intentional stillness that will help you navigate your adoption journey better. That's all for this episode. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Before I go, I would like to extend an invitation to join our private Facebook community. As I mentioned before, we have other adoptive parents in there. We have those who support us. We just want to be there to encourage you in your adoption journeys. Please see the show notes for the link. In our next episode, I'll be back with another breadcrumb to help identify what my word is for the year, the concepts that are behind it. Until next time, this is Tim encouraging you to do what you can now.